right. Well, that was really good.
Thank you.
Not much else you can say. So I guess let's start with your songwriting process. What comes first, music or lyrics for you?
Well, in general, music and melody is something that comes very easy and naturally. Lyrics in general are a bit harder work. And it's kind of I've read a lot about different writing processes. For me, I carry a notebook around, just an old high school kind of composition book with the black and white speckles on front. I've been through quite a few of them, and I just number the pages as I go in pencil, and I just write down ideas, themes for songs. Sometimes I'll hear a line, whether it's in a restaurant or just out about, you get an idea from something you see. And I'm always kind of writing musical riffs, so whether it's the little digital recorders now, or back when I started it was cassette recorders. I used to have a boombox around and I'd log the ideas. So it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle. It's like there's a theme for a song or a title or just something that feels like it's a seed of a good song, and I'll pair it up with a musical riff. And then it's kind of like you lay those pieces on the table and you fill in the blanks. Of course, my favorite things that don't happen often is when you get an inspired idea for a song and it kind of comes with an initial melody, and you're so excited about it that within a few hours the song is complete. Right. That's very rare, sadly. I'm not the kind of writer that'll get up and write 8 hours a day no matter what. It's interesting now, I'm just getting back into the writing process. I spent the last 2.5 years on the road with the E Street Band, Bruce Springsteen. Right. I joined that band 25 years ago. And Bruce doesn't always work with the E Street Band, but when he does, I'm there. So it's also nice because I love to be in bands. I prefer performing live to recording. That takes a bit of patience I don't have naturally. I love the live environment. So it's nice to be in a great band and not be the leader, not be the boss. Because I'm happy to do that. I've done it for 41 years, but there's a lot of non-musical issues that are part of that job. But my point was, now after I immersed myself in Bruce's music and in that band, and now it's time for me to get back into making a record of my own. I have a little website, just nilslofgren.com, and I kind of parted ways with the music industry about 15, 16 years ago. I haven't had a record deal in that long, and thanks to technology, I got a little website. I make CDs and sell it through the web, the internet. But now I'm getting back into writing songs, and I learned many years ago that music's my hobby, but it's also my profession. And I found myself writing songs and being instantly the professional writer, producer, judge, and jury, and nothing was good enough. And I got very frustrated, and then I found myself all of a sudden not writing at all, and weeks and months went by. So now what I have to do is kind of a game I play with myself. I'm not saying you have to do this, but when for instance, right now I'm starting to write songs. I'm trying to write as it's my hobby. I'm not a professional writer. And it allows me to write, say, bad country songs. Some are so bad I wouldn't even play them for you. Some have, some are like, well, this is corny, but then the next step is to make a little sketch in my home demo studio. I have a little home studio. Something I wouldn't play for anybody, but just to get back into the process of writing and recording without the pressure of, well, this isn't good enough. And then I get too frustrated. So it's kind of like I'm tricking myself now into just writing things I'm excited about, not having expectations, getting back into home recording. And I hope, usually what happens is a few months of that leads to starting to have some ideas where I think, well, this could be a song for a record, and so on and so forth until I do get a bit more serious. And then when I'm into, like if I'm, some days when I'm serious about putting a record together, back to my original point with this notebook theme idea, it'll be like, okay, for a few weeks now, we're going to write 4 or 5 hours a day. So I get up and the idea I'm most inspired by, I'll start working on. If after an hour to 3 hours, I'm just frustrated and I'm not making any progress, also I'm mercenary about it. Like if I'm having an idea and now I need a bridge or a middle section, traditional songs have 2 movements, then maybe a third movement as a bridge. if I'm really into it, if I can steal from a song or part of the puzzle from 10 years ago and it fits, I'll take it. Hell with that song. That's over. Stick it in, finish the new song. And what happens is after an hour or two, when I'm really committed to writing, if I'm too frustrated and bogged down, rather than to stop the writing process, I just go through the notebook, because I have a lot of these, what I call jigsaw puzzles, in progress songs. And some of them are close to completion. Some have been frustrating for years. Some are just, being kind of torqued up. And I'll just find another song I'm engaged by to work on, so that I will write for 4 or 5 hours. I may take 4 or 5 ideas and move them forward. One might get done eventually they do. But so that's just kind of, for me, a process to stay engaged with the writing.